What up everybody, this is iZonk. Thanks for tuning in to my 2022 Zeku guide for the final patch of Street Fighter V. There's only two guides out there, a 2-minute one by Sayum and an hour and 30 minutes by MC Mura. I'm gonna give you 20 minutes to teach you everything you need to know about this character and skip all the fluff. Alright, well since you start the round in Old Zeku's form, it's only natural we'll start with Old Zeku's game plan. And Old Zeku's game plan is pretty simple. What he wants to do is annoy his opponents and bait them into doing something dumb like dashing or jumping. So when the round starts, you don't want to do too much. Just see if your opponent is already dumb enough to do something crazy by themselves. But if he doesn't, you want to annoy them with the light and the medium gram koku. And when they start dashing at you, you use the light kick and the crouching medium punch to stop the dash. And if they happen to jump while you're dash checking, you can recover quick enough to use the heavy DP or the V-skill 1 to anti-air them and build some extra V-meter, which you can use for your V-triggers. This is a simple zoning strategy that Guile and Sagat use. It's very effective, but don't use it for long periods of time because Zeku's recovery on his grams is too large, so you will get jumped in on eventually. Alright, so you got your basic zoning down, you've bored them to death and they're starting to jump and dash at you, right? Well, this is the game plan for old Zeku. After he gets the heavy DP, he can dash up and he's +2. You get to throw them if you're close enough. After the V-skill 1, you can dash, but you can just walk up and grab him. And that is good because this is how he gets his pressure started basically. So in this segment, we're gonna look at the block strings for old Zeku. His crouching light punch is his tick throw button, so after pressing crouching light punch, he can tick throw them, or he can go into his standing light punch, or he can go into his medium punch. He's fishing for the counter hit, right? The medium punch goes into the medium punch, that combos on counter hit, that's frame tight. Medium kick into medium kick leaves a small gap, but most likely gonna get away with it. Medium kick into medium punch is also frame tight. Into the light kick is frame tight, into the light punch is frame tight. So you can just rewind this later and see what exactly was the frame data. I'm not going to run through all of these buttons, but I'm just going to give you a general idea, right? So you can extend those block strings by using special moves at the end. His light koku is a -6 on block. So when you're close to them, you might get punished here. I wouldn't be doing that if I was you. But you can go into the medium koku as a block string. That is -4. You're probably going to get away with that for a very long time, till deep into Diamond, probably Master, Grandmaster even. You can also spend a bar on EX koku that has a great knockdown, first of all, on hit. But on block, you're +1, so you get to go again. So this is a completely viable strategy to use crouching medium kick into EX koku. I'll show you a little trick here. You can also spend a bar on EX teki, the launcher. On hit, this launches them. But on block, you're only -2. But if they crouch, you're even +5. So this is a situation people are going to take their turn when it's not. So this is going to get you counter hits most likely. Alright. Now, block strings are cool, but you want to be hitting them, right? And what you want to be doing here is when you combo from a light button, a crouching light punch, you want to go into the standing light punch because that leads to the light teki. That's new this season. That's his launcher, and you want to be launching your opponents. Your medium punch also goes into the light teki or the EX, but preferably you want to start with medium kick because that forces the stand, and all these launchers, they whiff on crouching opponents. Except maybe EX teki from close range. But in most cases, you want to be forcing them to stand, and medium kick and crouching heavy punch are the buttons that forces them to stand up. Now, as you noticed, I'm not finishing these combos, right? This is just a launcher, because later on, when I show you Young Zeku, I'm going to show you how to switch forms and how to end the combo in Young Zeku, because he is just way better when he's pressuring. Now, just for the segment, I'll finish the combos. Light teki goes into light koku or the V-skill 1. The EX 1 goes into the medium koku. And the medium teki goes into medium koku. Heavy teki goes into heavy koku. It's not that complicated. Also, you can see the advantage after dashing up on all of these combos when you rewind this. Old Zeku is plus, but young Zeku is better at this situation. Alright, so now we're gonna have a look at young Zeku's game plan. And things are gonna get spicy now, so better pay attention. The end game here is you wanna land that medium punch. Why? Because this goes into his target combo, and this does a ridiculous amount of stun. It does over 500 stun, hit him twice and they're dead, and it gives some great follow-up situations. So this is what you wanna be landing. Now, the medium punch is +2 on block. It's a 5-frame button, so that frame traps into itself. So you want to be practicing this sequence over and over. You got to set the dummy to a random guard, and you got to look. When they block, you walk up and do it again. When they get hit, you do a micro walk, and you go into the combo. And this is not that easy, actually. Here, I'm missing it over here. That's a hit, micro walk, and go into the combo. If you do this twice in a game, you're going to win. So that's all good. That's a great button, but it doesn't have any range, right? So how are you going to land that? Well, one of the answers to that is use his crouching medium punch. You want to buffer that in neutral, and you want to use his EX shoulder, h-hozanto, or the run slide. Now that requires him to press buttons in neutral, and to bait them to press buttons, you're going to use that light kick. People are going to take their turn because it's -2, but it has an excellent range. So when people take their turn and they whiff the button, you can buffer your crouching medium punch into the run slide or into the EX shoulder, and you're gonna get that knockdown, so you can meaty them with the medium punch, or you can throw them, you can start the whole game up. Now, as you saw earlier in the combos I did, the core game plan for him is to actually run after his knockdowns, do the run stop, and manually time the meaty so that it's basically a frame kill. And you gotta practice this over and over. You want to have plus frames in their face on both recoveries so that you can get to press that medium punch, basically. See, I missed it over here, but most of the time I can hit it. You got to practice that over and over, both recoveries. So this guy is actually neutral, right? Yeah, he does, but the problem is he can't really defend himself. This is his main anti-air, basically, his medium kick. It's the most effective he has. It has no reward at all. It also trades a lot. So you want to use your l-hozanto maybe, but that moves him forward. That's not great. So you're going to be using that jump back medium punch, or you want to jump at them, use the medium punch unhit. They float a bit, so you can use the EX command grab in the air grab. So yeah, that's cool. But at the end of the day, you're going to be using that medium kick to stop them, man. This button is just not great. He also doesn't have an EX reversal on wake up. He has a 3-frame, but that's about it basically. Now, what you can also do in neutral is, of course, jump at people and dash at people, walk at them, and young Zeku is excellent at all those things, but he has a secret weapon, and that is his slide, his sweep basically. This has a ridiculous range. It has a great knockdown. It also crush counters. So what you want to be doing is you want to be varying your approach with runs, with slides, with dashes, with jumps, with cross-up jumps, and just be really annoying with it. You got to slide once in a while, even though it's very unsafe. Now I got a couple of young Zeku bread and butters here. Once again, just like old Zeku, I'm only gonna finish in young Zeku form. So he has great light confirms. They can all go into super, so that's great. Even as the target combo here, that can go into super this season. Awesome. But he really starts to shine when we're gonna use the medium. And this is the one I already showed you. You want to spend the bar here. It gets you a lot more damage and a lot more stun. But if you don't want to do that, oh, I messed up. What you also can do is just do the medium shoulder into the medium palm. And you can do the run stop after all of these knockdowns and loop your offense, basically. Now he also has the crouching medium punch. I showed you that already. You could end in the heavy air grab. That does the most damage, but that doesn't give you any follow-up pressure. So I think you want to be using the palm to knock him down, or the run slide. That's also good. Here I'm using the heavy punch. That can go into the V-skill or the run slide. It's pretty good. If you do it from the... you can also do m-bushinsho, by the way, but I wouldn't be spending a bar on that. You can also do the crouching form, and you can combo that into the EX shoulder for a little bit more damage. That does over 300. That's an excellent shimmy move, by the way. I'll show that later. And you can go into the run. Yeah. So his heavies are great confirms. You can visually see the hit, do the second button, and then go into the special. That's great. Now he has a secret weapon, and that's his heavy kick. You want to be pressing the heavy kick a lot, because on hit this is +3, so he can go into a light confirm, but when they're crouching, he is +5, so he gets the medium punch. And look at this dumbass damage. 304 damage, 544 stun. So when you jump in on people and they delay tech, he has like a built-in delayed button with that heavy kick. And he gets 340 damage if people are delay teching on his jump-ins. It's awesome. Alright, so now you got old Zeku's game plan down and you got young Zeku's game plan down. It's time to put one-on-one together and make this character a top tier. We already saw the first way how you can do that. That's using the V-skill 1 as an anti-air. You change from old to young Zeku and you can pressure them by just walking up and pressing your medium punch. Well, he got more ways to do that. He can also use his standing heavy punch in old form. That's -5 on block, but when you cancel the recovery and go into the form change, you are now +1. Young Zeku has a 3-framer, so you can get a counter hit into the crouching medium punch. And you can combo that into the run slide or the EX shoulder. This is an excellent way to start your offense in young form. Now, what you can also do here is you can frame trap people, of course, with the light punch into the medium punch, crouching light punch. That's not gonna beat delay tech, but what does beat delay tech is using the crouching light punch into the standing heavy punch. That's a big gap, and that's most likely gonna get you a counter hit. If you change forms there, you can get a massive combo. Now, the third avenue here is picking the V-skill 2. That's also really good. You can backdash, Santa Ferret, change back into old form, and you can get the mix-up here. I suggest you look at YouTube on what mix-ups you can use. I'm just using something I thought of, but there's way more options. Now, the last option you have is changing forms mid-combo. Any launcher you get, you can change forms here. If you are in old form and you get a light launcher, you can go into the heavy palm of young Zeku and run after your knockdown. I'll replay it here. Heavy palm, run after it for the Oki. And in young form, you can get a light launcher and you can go into the heavy ban. You get great stuff like this. He's plus on everything. This is why he's top tier. Slowly moving towards the end now, we're gonna have a look at Zeku's V system. And we're gonna start with V trigger 1, which gives him access to an activation first of all, and an invincible dash that beats both buttons and projectiles. And when you get a hit, you can combo into this chain. It goes from light to medium to heavy, and it ends with the V trigger button. And when you use this, well, the bad thing is that it does no damage at all if you do it from an activation. So my first advice would be, if you get a hit and you activate, just finish the combo, get a good knockdown, and save the rest of the V meter. My second advice is you want to start the chain combo with mediums most of the time, because that's what's going to get you more damage, because there's a lot of scaling involved. So just finish your combo and save the V meter for later, because what you want to use this for is young Zeku, because this tremendously buffs young Zeku. As I told you earlier, he needs to slide to keep people on their toes, and his slide is -13 on block, so that's very baitable. Now, the V-trigger activation gonna make that slide a +6 situation, so you get to press buttons, and that's what you want to be doing. And also, when you slide later on while already having the V-trigger activated, you can go into the final hit of the V-trigger, and that leads you into a safe situation. Now, what you can do to practice this is set the dummy to random guard and start hit confirming the slide. On hit, you just take the knockdown, but on block, you cancel into the V-trigger so that you are safe. And this is a very easy way to efficiently use your V-trigger meter. Now let's have a look at V-trigger 2, the Karura Tenzan. This is basically an invincible DP. It's invincible on frame 3, so it's not great as a wake-up option, but it's great as an anti-air, so that right out of the gate, this allows you to play young Zeku way earlier in the round. You can just play neutral because now you can finally defend yourself in the air. And on hit, you can extend combos with it. So let's say you end in a koku here. You can just go into the Karura Tenzan, and that can combo into an EX run slide or an EX ban. Show you that over here. When you start the combo with young Zeku, you can extend the combo with Karura Tenzan, then go into the EX uppercut for more damage. So that's really easy to use. You don't get an activation moment, but you can extend combos. You can even use it after the V skill 1. That works great together. And you can switch sides here. It lets you switch sides by holding forward. That's also very useful. And you can just confirm single buttons into it. Also has a great knockdown. So V-Trigger 2, very easy to use. Very good for new players, I think. Also, when you play a character like Ryu and he shoots fireballs, you can just pop it when you're close and you can punish his fireballs. V skill 1, already saw that in action a couple of times. This allows him to change sides, and it's a great anti-air in old form. And the good thing about this V skill is you can use this a lot after every single launcher and as an anti-air. So there's like 4, 5, 6 moments every round where you can use this V skill now. And that allows you to build this V trigger really quickly because his V triggers are only 2 bars. Really good. I would definitely advise new players to use this V skill, especially this season. The V skill 2 is summoning his spirit animals. Old Zeku summons the bird, young Zeku summons the ferret. And this is very setup heavy, so YouTube is filled with cool setups. I definitely advise you to check that out. The one thing I'm going to tell you about this V skill is that what you want to be doing is you want to send the spirit animal, then change forms, and then run or walk after that to pressure them so you can get the mix up. So you want to get the knockdown, and when you get the knockdown, do a quick backdash, send the spirit animal, change forms, and chase after that. For the last part, we're going to look at Zeku Shenanigans, and we're going to start off with his Bushin flip in old form. This is basically like Akuma's demon flip. It's just a fancy jump in with a couple of options. He can stay in front with the kick, go behind with the punch, or land on you with the air throw. And that gives you a +2 advantage. So if he actually lands a hit on you, he gets a big combo. If he does the grab, he gets a great knockdown. Now, you can do this within your block strings, and people find this frightening, but you can just anti-air with a single button or an anti-air or anything with an upwards hitbox. So this is only going to work in your block strings if you conditioned your opponent to start blocking. Now you can use this after the heavy punch, because that has the most block stun. So this is going to leave people in block mode for a while. You can use the light Bushin flip to get the kick in front or the air throw, the command grab basically. Or you do the medium one, and that'll leave you behind them, giving you an ambiguous cross-up. Now, this is really good as a mix-up tool when you score a knockdown so that people can't really anti-air you. They're getting up as you're up in the air already. But you can also use this full screen when you see people charging their V-skill full screen maybe, like Mika or Abigail. You can go full screen and stand on them basically. You get a great knockdown, you get stuff like this. It's really annoying to deal with. Now, young Zeku also has shenanigans, don't worry about that. What he has is the EX run stop. Now, as you see, if he does this in a block string, he can just steal a turn basically. That leaves him at -2. And okay, sure, you lost your turn, but in reality, when you play online, you get to go again, best believe me, you can just throw them. He also has this. This is an overhead, also from the EX run. You press kick at the end. That's an overhead, also -2 on block, so he just gets a free go to knock his opponents down if they're in a block mode. And when he actually hits you and he does the EX run, you'll see he's gonna be +5. Look at this. EX run, heavy punch, EX run, +5. So now he gets to go into his combo, right? This is gonna be on hit. So this is really... like, there's such a high reward for him to do that. So if he conditions you to start blocking, he can just end his block string with the heavy punch, which has a great range. And then he can go into the EX run. And here, even if you block it, look at this. -2, he'll just grab you. 160 damage for your trouble. Thank you. And that throw concludes my Zeku guide. I hope you appreciate it. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to support the content. Watch Infectious for high-level Zeku play, and check out the MC Mura guide for more detailed information. Talk to you soon. Peace.